Hi, it's John and welcome to the channel. 5:04 a.m. Saturday, July the 5th. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. I've got my big blue mug of coffee. I've been up since I think before 3 o'clock this morning, and I've been kind of putting everything together for this video. I sent a whole bunch of email to myself yesterday because of things I saw in the news. Before I get to that, to the people who commented yesterday on my video regarding the Alberta Prosperity Project Independence Rally in Airdrie the other night and said they came out to meet me, they enjoyed meeting me. I enjoyed meeting you as well. Some of you, by the way, you gave me some super thanks. You clicked on the little dollar sign there. Somebody first of all, thank you. Somebody was quite generous. And to that person, I want to tell you, I have invested in microphones for my phone. And they're coming in today. So thank you. Thank you for that. If you are subscribed to the channel, I just noticed I hit 33,000 subscribers. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. If you aren't, just click on subscribe. Let's make it to 34,000. Let's get those numbers up. So today's video is regarding what happened the other night. But I want to expand on that and talk about the country called Canada as well. I'm an independent Albertan. I'm a sovereigntist. I want to see Alberta's independence sooner before later. And I came out of the meeting the other night very, very pleased and very happy and very optimistic. And I sat down yesterday and was looking over the news and I got a little bit angry. Now, I do not want to be the angry old man on this channel. I don't want to be that person. But I started looking at stories in the news. I'm going to go over a few of them as quickly as possible here in just a moment that got me thinking, why are we still part of Canada? Why are we still part of this thing? Why are we not out of it already? It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. And to the people who are Albertans who have an allegiance to Canada and the flag, you are patriots. I mentioned this in a video the other day. Why do you still wrap yourself in the Canadian flag when Alberta could be doing so much better? Answer me the question. I lost that feeling a long, long time ago. I say it here all the time. I'm an Albertan. I'm not a Canadian. So let's take a look at a few of the things that had me thinking, why are we still part of this thing? Meaning Canada. So here's the first story. This is just obscene. This is what people voted for. There was a guy in the election who said, you can't continue to do this. It drives up inflation. It makes things more expensive. Federal deficit projected to soar to $92 billion this year. Unfair to pass these burdens on. Passing it on means to your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, probably your great-great-great. You'll never pay this down. And check this out. Deficits of more than $77 billion a year over the next 4 years. Is this what you voted for? But Carney's going to call this investment, not spending. That's what he's going to do. He wants to invest more, spend less. It's all spending. Why are we still part of this thing? Meanwhile, I've got Danielle Smith. Now, the other night at the meeting in Airdrie, Danielle Smith's name was brought up, and I think a couple of the speakers there admire Danielle Smith. I like Danielle Smith. I think she's one of the strongest politicians, if not the strongest politician in this country. But Danielle Smith is down on her knees begging the Carney government, the federal government, the government that millions of people voted for, begging them to allow us to do things in our province of Alberta. Why are we still part of this? Alberta taxpayers send over $20 billion more to Ottawa every year than we get back in benefits for our province. We could keep all that money here if we were gone. Next story. A fiery Danielle Smith on fighting when Alberta is punched in the face. Now, she talks a lot about Naheed Nenshi, the head of the NDP in this. But this is what caught me down here. In Canada, Smith hopes for a bitumen pipeline to the BC port of Prince Rupert, shipping to waiting Asian markets. She also hopes for scrapping the bad laws Smith has already mentioned in this column. That would be Bill C-69, no pipelines, C-48, no tankers. She wants them gone, among other things. It's not rocket science. It's very simple. They know what to do. We've told them. They know, we know they know what to do. Why aren't they doing it? What's up with the delay? The Premier does not like the sound of the clock ticking. We don't just want one pipeline, one project that gets the golden ticket to go ahead. The jury is out. They haven't done anything yet. We still have all the same bad policies hanging over our head as we did 3 months ago under the former Prime Minister. I asked the Premier Danielle Smith, why are we still part of this thing? Why are you begging the government to do things? Meanwhile, we've got our Energy Minister tweeting this out yesterday. He's in Alberta announcing a pittance $21.5 million for carbon capture projects. He's the energy minister. Why is he talking about carbon capture projects and not about pipelines and energy? Because this is their religion, folks. And I don't blame the companies who want to do this crap. It's free money. It's your money. Why are we still part of this thing? Here's Hodgson yesterday. It's the same old spiel they had during the election.
At a time of challenging global dynamics, our country is choosing to rise to the challenge. We are choosing to strengthen our economic sovereignty, assert our strategic independence, and build a future based on our values and ambitions.
The values and ambitions of Mark Carney and Tim Hodgson in the Liberal government are not oil and gas industry. It's their religion, which is climate change. He's asked about Bill C-69. There's some questions that come from reporters. He's asked about 48. He dithers. He says nothing. He doesn't announce there'll be any pipelines. But the government, under the One Canadian Economy Act, that's Bill C-5, folks, will determine what gets done. And Scott Moe and Danielle Smith sat down in a news conference not too long ago after the caucuses from Alberta and Saskatchewan sat down and said they have hundreds of projects they want done. Meanwhile, Danielle Smith is begging for a pipeline. Why are we still part of this thing? Meanwhile, I've got Jeff Rath on with me the other day, and Jeff brought this up as well. Here's what he had to say.
So all these people that have, and these are all Brookfield adjacent, crony capitalists that they call stakeholder capitalists, that are all in on the big World Economic Forum scam, are all sharpening their knives and forks, waiting to get at the $50 billion trough of Alberta taxpayer money that's going to go into their hands so that they can suck carbon out of the, the Alberta oil patch.
Yeah. We're like a buffet for the rest of Canada, Alberta. All sorts of money coming out of here. We're like a buffet. Pull up your chair, folks. There's lots to eat. Move on now. Let's go. EU exempting heavy industry from carbon tax as Canada doubles down. We told you about this the other day. I think Donald Trump got the EU to drop their carbon border adjustment mechanism. Canada still pursuing industrial carbon taxes, and that's a direct tax on Alberta. Why are we still part of this thing? Next up, federal government says electric vehicle mandate must reflect current times after auto CEOs meet Carney. We joked about this the other night. So much laughing about this stupidity of getting rid of gas-powered vehicles within the next 10 years, folks. The auto industry is reeling right now because of tariffs from the United States. Why at a time when the industry is under pressure would we keep in place a domestic policy that is hugely damaging to this industry? Well, that goes back to their religion, doesn't it? Moving on. So meanwhile, we're talking about this the other night. You can't talk about Alberta independence without mentioning the word Quebec, because we give so much money to Quebec. And what do? They disrespect us. Happy coincidence or master plan how Carney's team full of Quebecers wants to govern Canada. It's like he's sticking his finger in the eyes of Albertans. The key question centers on the possible effects of this Quebec-heavy contingent in the Carney government, both in terms of policy and politics. Meanwhile, you've got a country that's talking about Canada strong, and, we've got a shared values and a shared history, and you can't even embrace your history anymore. The Historic Sites and Monuments Board calls the father of Confederation, Sir John A. Macdonald, polarizing and controversial on issues like 19th century Chinese immigration. This is absolutely absurd. And then we've got these people. This is Canada, folks. Academics call on Ottawa to speed up Palestinian student visas. When you see the words academics in a story or experts, the experts that told you to stand on a dot, put on a piece of flimsy material over your face and stay 2 feet or 2 meters away from people to keep a virus from getting into you, or rolling up your sleeve to give you a safe and effective vaccine that really didn't do anything. When you see stories like this, you have to question it. Why would we want to bring people from a part of the world who hate a specific religion so much? Why would we want to do this? Will we properly vet these people? Will we tell them actually what kind of values we have in this country? And then I see this from the Rise of Alberta. I want you to just watch a couple of seconds of this, because this is what it's all about. Now, again, Rise of Alberta on X, you can go and follow this.
If Alberta were to become independent from Canada, it would emerge as a mid-sized nation with a population of approximately 5 million people, covering an area of 661,848 square kilometers. This new country would be larger than France and slightly smaller than Ukraine. English would likely remain the official language. Economically, Alberta would have a GDP of around $350 billion, contributing about 15% to Canada's total GDP. This translates to a GDP per capita of approximately $700, making it one of the wealthiest countries in the world.
One of the wealthiest countries in the world. I ask again, why are we still part of this thing called Canada? If you're an Alberta patriot and you want Alberta independence, work hard for our common goal, folks. I see more and more stories like this all the time, and I just can't believe we're still part of Canada. No disrespect to Canada. If you want to be Canadian, that's fine. But I'm an Albertan first. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell for notifications. Onward to 34,000 subscribers. I'll see you in the next one.